everywhere. Hello everybody and welcome to the first ever Croc Talk. Basically, this is just a talk show where we just hang out and talk about old things that we used to do and anything really, just tell stories, have a good time. Anyway, let's get started, guys.
I'm gonna trust your judgment on your editing.
Alright, so my name's Sergio. I'm a swimmer. I like to make films and animations, if that's not obvious by this video. And, yeah, that's about it. That's the extent of my life.
Shit.
Luke?
That's how concise we're getting here?
I mean, I couldn't bring up more.
Alright. I'm Luke. I like to do several things. I like golfing and skiing and hunting and hanging out with my friends and stuff. I don't really know. I like a lot of things. Like, what do they say? What is the spice of life? Like trying different things, I guess.
Yeah.
I like trying everything.
Yeah, definitely.
It's fun.
It's always fun to do new things.
Yeah, I like everything.
My name's Robbie. Soccer. I love to fish. I golf. I also swim. And I'm just like Luke. I like to try different things. And
So I gotta put that out there. I also like to try new things, just in case you were thinking anything different.
yeah,
I also agree with spice of life stuff.
a shirt nipple right there.
That's not a shirt nipple.
No.
That's one of those annoying ass things.
It's like the thread that comes out of place.
Yeah, it's like what
Yeah,
Walmart.
No, don't
shirts
pull
are.
it. It just makes it worse.
Yeah, it really
But
does.
it's addicting.
No,
It's like a pimple.
I want to.
It's like a scab. Oh,
Oh, pimple.
So
You pull on a
do you ever,
pimple.
I always fall in my pimples.
do you,
God. Oh, God.
Dude! Your pimple!
Alright,
Oh,
do you guys ever, are you just ever on Twitter and there's those weird...
We told you not to do it! Oh my god.
What's those weird articles that say more for cancer?
No, you're on Twitter. You get those like weird articles and they have like this intriguing picture on it that you just wanna look. And then you click on
Top
it.
8 babes on the beach.
Yeah. Or like this morning there was like this nasty looking big pimple on this girl's neck.
Yeah.
And I went to the website and it's like one of those ridiculous article things. You have to like go to next and so each of the steps of popping the pimple was it was a page and it was a little like GIF or
Did it have like wiki
GIF?
steps, you know,
GIF,
like
whatever
it's a
it's
freaking step by
yeah,
step?
no. It had like it was hashtag 6 to 1, I think, or 5 to 1.
Oh,
The first one was I don't even remember what it was. It was like lend a hand or something, and this guy comes in and helps her pop this pimple.
How big was it?
This thing was like
It's
like
not
the-
a pimple, that's a tumor.
it was not a tumor. So and then the second one
It's
was
a tumor pimple.
the sec-
Those are very
I don't
damaging.
remember what the fourth one was, but I remember what the third one was. It was like almost there, and then the last one was we got it or something, and they pop it, and first all sorts of blood comes out, and then they start squeezing
Oh,
again.
God.
Oh,
Why would you look at
So
that?
much pus.
Why would you look at that voluntarily?
it was the grossest
Just-
thing.
I can just imagine it now, Robbie on a computer, just like, what's going on right now? Well, that looks interesting.
It's like intriguing to look like. Just at first you're just like, what the? You just wanna look
Usually
at it.
I don't usually click on those because they don't look very trustworthy.
And
Like,
like sometimes it redirects you.
it says like for example like 15 hottest babes of 2015, and it just like shows a picture of boobs or something, like not fully boobed, but I mean like just shows like in a bikini, and then you're like, you know, if I click on that, it's gonna take me somewhere that's not good for my computer, so I'm not gonna click on it.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen the pictures where it's like, you'll never believe what this celebrity did, and then it's got like
And
a
then-
picture of a celebrity and it's like cut off or something, and you go to press to see the full picture, but it's the same picture, it's still cut off.
And, or
There's
there's like
traps.
a you'll never see what the celebrity did, for example, and then you go through because you have to click next to go through like top 10 worst things that celebrities did. And you want to see the one that was in the picture, and you go, and it's not there. And you're like, what the fuck?
That's what I like about Instagram. You see what you see. You see what you want.
You
to
get
see.
what you get, you don't throw fit.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's no bullcrap.
For
like
Twitter?
Facebook, and
Instagram.
no
Oh.
Instagram's definitely.
I hate Twitter. I don't ever use Twitter. Occasionally I'll
I-
log on and get rid of the
I
notification.
unfollowed all like the big accounts like World Star and stuff.
I love
'cause
World Star.
Well, I kept following Meninist because they're
Meninist.
That's funny.
They're
In
hilarious.
broken fashion.
And I don't follow them
Some of
anymore.
those
And I followed
They got
a
those.
bunch of people from our area just
Oh,
to like
Vine fights is a funny one. I don't know if you ever.
because
seen
I've
that.
never been
that.
like I want to get to the point where I can scroll through my Twitter feed and be able to like get to where I was before within 20 minutes. Have you heard of Casey Neistat? I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. Casey Neistat.
What does he do?
He makes vlogs.
I've never heard of that.
Well, he came out with this like social media called Beam. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
No,
It's kind of like Snapchat. You record by putting it against your chest because it does the sensors, and as soon as you do it, it records for like 8 seconds or something like that. And as soon as you let go, it posts immediately, so you don't get to like review it. And what it is, it's supposed to like take it away from everyone like at concerts looking down at their phone and stuff. And
which I hate.
I'm not sure if that's the best idea.
People just can't enjoy.
And you can watch other people's, and you can't like actually write comments with words. The only thing you can do is like, as you're watching it, your front camera's on, so you can like snap pictures of your face as it's
great.
recorded. Yeah. I feel like it'll have a short lifespan of social media.
It might last. I thought Vine was gonna be like there and gone, but like I can tell right now that people.
Well, I mean,
are gonna be
it's
posting
similar to
stupid things on
Snapchat.
That just
That's
sounds
the problem.
Mine is slowed down a
ridiculous.
lot.
But Beam is it seems cool.
I can't stand when people just take videos of everything. Like they'll be at a concert or watching a fireworks show. I have to take a picture of everything.
It's kind of like
enjoy it while it
it's good
lasts.
and bad. I don't like to film it, but I also like keeping the memories.
Yeah.
Like.
I feel like
But the
some
only
people
reason
try
I do
to show
film it
off.
is because other people do, and I'm like, man, I kind of feel obligated to now that they
Yeah.
are. But I would rather just kind of like enjoy the moment.
That's how some people like show off.
Well, I think in that situation, what's important is like you gotta use your better judgment. It's like, would I rather sit here and watch this fireworks show with my friends or whatever, or would I rather pull out my phone and film it and put it on Snapchat or something?
Yeah,
So
I'd
would be
rather
worth
enjoy it
it?
with my friends.
Fireworks you can see fairly often, so and there's always those stupid Snapchat stories. So it's like, why even bother? Just enjoy those.
Yeah.
But something like
you did that.
yeah,
You
well,
put it on your Snapchat story.
that was
You
different.
became one of the stereotypes.
It was different because we were looking through those trees, and
Oh,
the
yeah, that
trees
was
made
cool
it look
angle,
cool. It was like
Yeah.
some of the parts of the firework were cut off because of the trees' leaves and the silhouette of it. So I thought it looked pretty
The point is, I think that social media draws away from like the cool moments in life. Even if you
Yeah,
are
I like
recording
to-
them.
I like to live the moment.
And it's like,
But
I
there-
can go
but
both
there's
ways.
some-
But social media is awesome at the same time. But I don't like spending too much time on it. But I feel like that's how I keep up with everyone's life. And
Because what I used to do when I went fishing over across the street, was I used to take pictures when I would catch fish and stuff, and of the view, and it would kind of just take away from it. And I stopped doing it. It's much better,
Yeah,
more
definitely.
relaxing. And
See, it's probably not worth it to do it with something that you see fairly often.
yeah.
yeah, but like with mancation, which is when we go like fishing us three, we go fishing every once in a while during the
You
summers.
guys went without me.
On Cayuga. We weren't here, so
Bringing back old feelings.
So we go to Cayuga Lake on my father's friend and his father's friend's boat, and we go fishing, and we call it mancation because it's a man vacation. It's kind of self-explanatory, and we've had like two of them. Well, we've had three of them. Two of them were just me and Sergio, and then the other one was us three together, and though that's like a thing you're allowed to capture the moment with like videos and pictures because we don't do that every day.
Yeah.
And when we're older, we'll want to remember that.
Yeah, that's
and
much
like
different. Like a
recollect.
family vacation.
Yeah.
That's like a yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You gotta take pictures on a family vacation.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Because you want to remember that when you're older and you're looking through your memories, you're like, wow, those were the days when I went fishing with my buddies during the summer and caught those great fish and had an awesome day of
yeah.
grilling
there's
fishing.
There's a difference of enjoying the moment and like videos taken away
Obsessing
from
or
it.
Broadcasting it.
Yeah.
obsessing
like,
over
yeah.
filming. And,
It just gets a point where it's too much.
Like if it
Or
feels like
it's
an
unnecessary.
obligation or like you just feel like you should do it for whatever reason, then it's probably not a good idea to do it. But if you like are just like sitting there in the moment, you're like, man, I'd like to recollect on this or look back on this.
Yeah.
Do it.
If you're doing it, yeah, I agree.
It all depends really on the situation. But
in some situations, it's like you shouldn't film at all. Like if you're, I don't know, a good example, but like getting in trouble or something like with the cops, you shouldn't film that.
we can explain that one. Now he has Coke. How did we do that? And my water is a little bit more full. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard of parkour at this point. If not, then you're probably living under a rock. Anyway, so we actually really enjoy parkouring, and this guy was actually kind of new to it, but I figured we might as well introduce it to him.
Which guy?
This guy. Robbie.
Robbie.
Yeah. This guy's decent, I
Hey,
guess.
fuck you.
So anyway, we all decided to go down to this little school that's kind of down the street from my house, where I've been going for a few years, because there's like a little shed that you can get up on top of, and then get up onto the actual roof of the school. And
It sounds simple, but it's
decent.
It was a miracle
It's
that I did
decently-
it. Let's
It's
just-
decently challenging. Like
Yeah.
this kid struggled, and so I was surprised that I made it. I pulled myself up. I felt like Assassin's Creed or something. But
Yeah, it's pretty challenging to get up there.
And
it doesn't look like it at first. It's like, oh, that's easy, and then you're like, oh wow, that was actually decently
And
challenging.
if you can't tell, I'm extremely short to these. Well, not extremely short.
Actually,
but
sitting, we
I'm
all look.
short. I'm short to these. guys.
Everyone, fix your posture real quick, Sue.
Yeah, but I have a short torso and wicked long legs.
Yeah, me too.
So it was harder for me to get up there, but we all did it, and it was fun.
Man, sitting up straight sucks. I like to be like. Anyway, so yeah, it's a difficult thing to do, but once you get up there, it's very rewarding because it's a nice view of like the little town, you know, and it looks pretty cool. And if you get up really high, you can take some nice pictures, and you can parkour up there even more, and it's really fun.
And do you know what I thought the most ironic thing about it was we were talking about how we're gonna do this like all summer long. It's gonna be cool. We're just gonna come up here and
And that very day, all those plans get shattered. Well, anyway, so we go up there and we're hanging out for a little bit. We're telling this guy about it. You know how we're probably, like you said, going there a lot. And all of a sudden, who was it? Was it you that spotted the car, or was it you?
I was me.
No, we went down to Oh, you spotted a car when we were on the roof.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. When we were on the roof, he sees a car.
Okay, so first, let me just say this. We first climb up, and we climb up on top of the roof. After climbing on top of the shed, we didn't really do any damage or anything. We look up just to clarify. And as soon as we climb up, there's like graffiti. There's like graffiti A because the town begins with an A. All right, so.
A-Town.
I don't think we'd be able to graffiti if we. I mean, it's pretty simple, but.
Yeah, but
Like we're like defending
it's like
ourselves.
an A,
It's
it was
like
an
if
A
any
in a
cops
circle.
see this, just make sure you know.
It was an A in a circle, so we saw that and we're like, oh, okay. So
I
then
didn't see
we
that.
kept. You didn't?
I pointed it out when we went up there.
Oh, I guess I wasn't paying attention.
Anyways,
Wow.
so anyways, we started walking around and climbing different places, and I don't know really how to describe
yeah,
it.
we're just.
We
There's
were
a
just
couple different
parkouring. We were
layers.
parkouring around on top of the roof, and I spot this van that's coming out of the elementary school parking lot and like going on this main strip of road, and it was like slowing down, and it eventually came to a stop. Is that out of focus? Okay,
No,
no, mind, I just out
you
of
just have
focus.
really bad vision.
No, just out of focus. And so I saw this car, and I get suspicious over things because one time a car tried to follow me home and like kidnap me or whatever.
That's a story.
Story for
different
another
day.
time. Okay, so I saw the van. I was like, guys, that van is stopped, and pretty sure someone just called the police or called someone at the school or something. And we're just like putting aside, like, no, Luke, you're just being suspicious, or what is it? Not
You're
suspicious.
just being facetious.
Yeah. Well,
No, that's
anyway,
not the
so
right
it was a
word.
van, and it kept driving really slow. Then it pulled back into the Bosie's parking lot.
Which is
And
right next door.
And then it pulled into the building next door's parking lot, and we just played it off like it was nothing. We didn't really think anything of it, really, except me. And then we kept climbing and parkouring up there. And if someone wants to take over, because I don't really know.
Yeah,
where we went from there.
we just kept on going on normal. We didn't really think about anything. We went down and we went on this playground over on the other side. We always used to go down there for recess or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, recess.
And
that's
So we were
typically what it's
climbing on the
called.
playground.
At that point, the sun was going down. It was starting to get pretty dark. It wasn't dark when we were on the roof at all,
Not at all.
which was a misconception by the police.
Oh, they thought that.
They thought we were,
Yeah, they thought it was dark.
but it wasn't.
Well,
We
that
were
explains
in
why they were searching.
We
apparently.
were okay. So after we climbed down from the roof, we walked over to the little playground, and we were parkouring on that because playgrounds are like playgrounds, so they're like
Playground
obviously
is
full
like
of parkour.
Yeah.
And there's this one jump that this kid. I don't know if you actually.
Did you end up doing it?
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Yeah, he's like sitting there trying to jump
Yeah,
from this like
it
one
was a
little
jump
thing
from
to, like,
from a little
slide.
like ladder type thing. I don't know how you would describe it.
Yeah, it's like
And then to a swirly slide, and you have to like make this
These
gap.
guys got their legs.
No,
And
it doesn't take anything. It's literally you just jump from
No.
one thing and it's like a drop and it's like 2 feet
And then
wide.
Robbie was like, what? And he jumped off the ladder thing and like landed. He's like, oh, and we're like, oh, did you do it? Because he told us to not look.
Yeah,
He told us to look away. We're like, okay, fine. And then we heard him like land, and he just jumped off the thing. He didn't even jump towards it. He's like, oh, that landing wasn't bad. I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna do it now. So he climbs back up like, all right, do it. And he's like, no, and then he never does it.
So we're there for like 5 hours just to get him to try and do it.
We
which, you
were
know,
there
is
for realistically, we were
15
probably
minutes.
there. No, we were there for pretty long. I'd say like more towards like a half hour.
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
weren't
we
doing
felt
it.
like
That
that.
wasn't the whole time. We weren't doing that the whole
Yeah,
time.
that was
No,
way
we were
after.
only at that little playground after we climbed down for like a half hour, and
It
the
was at
sun
like
was
that
still
one
setting.
spot. It was pretty dark at that
Well,
point. I
at
think
the
sun
end,
already
at the
set.
end of us parkouring there, we looked at our clock and we're like, or no, we looked at the sky because it was like it was getting dark.
It's pretty obvious it's night when the
And-
sky
and
is black and the
Sergio-
sun is gone.
Sergio was like, oh, my mom wanted us to be home before dark, and it's dark. And then we see this dude walking towards us, right?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a guy walking towards us from the driveway towards the playground, and then Robbie points out, "Oh my God, that's a cop!" And he just sprints off to the other direction.
There was a
No.
janitor or something.
There was just some random dude. I'm pretty sure it's the
I'm
neighbor.
pretty sure he called.
Because he had like baggy pants and I don't know. He just didn't look like a
A cop,
a
man
cop
of
or anything.
authority.
He started
So
looking
it was,
over
it was
and
like a
he's
neighbor or something, and he was like climbing. He was like kind of like looking weird towards us. And I'm like, all right, let's get out of here. And Robbie's like, no, let's just loop around. That guy looks kind of weird. So, right?
I don't know. I think that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and then
That's what happened.
we started heading out, and then I said, "Oh, there's a cop." All right.
Where we just
It was
sit.
a police
oh,
car.
you're right.
Yeah, there's
yeah,
a police car, and
And it came in, state
and,
trooper.
and I was like, which one of you were questioning whether
Me.
it was? Yeah,
He
he
didn't
didn't think it was a
believe
police car. I
'Cause
thought I knew it was a police car.
I
I could
always
tell.
look around and.
And
Well, what happened was
and-
he
and
looks
then-
over in the darkness. He just sees a car and he points out, "Oh my God, it's a cop!" And
Me
he
and him,
just, he
or
just
Luke
sprinted
and I
off.
saw the decals on the side and we knew it, but I think from the angle when you looked, you couldn't
It was
see
so
the decals.
dark. It just looked
And-
like a car. That's all I
Well,
could see.
the
And-
lights, the lights reflect off of the decals.
You know what I think it
And-
was? I think I was looking at a completely different car than you guys were.
That,
Because where was it? Because from
it was,
to me,
it was
looked
pulling
like
in the parking lot.
it looked like it was at that
moving.
sidewalk way over. Oh, it was moving.
Where it dipped down. We know where it dips down right before the school.
Oh my God! No wonder. I was looking way past, like near the building next door. I thought it was that car that was parked there.
Anyways, so this dude, we see the cop car. We're like, we don't want to get in the police's business. We don't want to be walking past as they're doing whatever they're doing. So we decided to.
We had no idea that they
Yeah,
were.
we had no idea that the police were there for us.
Yeah.
So we're like, all right, we'll just walk through this soccer field and then loop around and then walk home.
Yeah, on the street.
But you ran away. Remember?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, we haven't.
No.
I remember just sitting there and then like,
We saw a cop and we
sprinted
started
off.
running. That's what happened.
No,
Alright, just keep
no,
telling.
I-
I'll just
I-
listen here if it's right.
I didn't run because I saw the cop. I ran because Robbie started Robbie started running. He said, "That's the cops!" And I figured he was just messing around. I was like, "All right," because I saw the cop car, but
Which it wasn't.
I thought I knew it was a cop car, but he wasn't chasing us or anything. So I was like, "Why the heck is he running?" So I figured he was just like messing around, like pretending he was getting chased by the cops. And Sergio started running after him. Like, "All right, guys, wait up!" And
I was just like, let's go with it,
Yeah.
whatever. Because I'm
So-
still thinking to myself, there's no cop here. He's being an idiot. So
We're
I'm
all-
like, might as well go for it.
We're all in a different mindset. I'm like, there's a
that's
cop
why
there.
this
Let's get
story
out.
is all confusing.
Let's get out of here.
Communication is key, people.
Sergio's like, there's no cop, but I'll play along. And Luke's
I
like,
knew there was a cop, but I didn't want to run because I was like, "Why are we running? The cop isn't chasing us."
Everybody's in a,
And there was no cop chasing us. He was like, we didn't even know what he was doing. We just saw the cop.
They were
car.
talking to the guys over by
Yeah,
the
they
school.
were
Like,
talking about
call.
by that man that we looked
Yeah,
I was
weird.
completely oblivious to all
So
of this.
so we were running, which did not probably look good on our part,
No.
and we ran to this church parking lot, which was next to this main road.
It's like
After
if you
walk
cut through a
this-
soccer field in the back of the school, then it leads to a church, and you can just wrap around.
onto the main street.
Yeah.
And to get to
Which goes
where
right by the
Sergio's
school.
house, because we were walking back to Sergio's house, you have to walk past the school that we were parkouring at to get to his house.
Yeah.
So we were walking past, and we saw the cop car flashing its light on the roof.
Mhm.
I remember before we were walking, or before we got to the. Are we gonna say this part?
Yeah, you can say it.
All right. Before we got to the parking lot, Sergio's like, I was like, are we gonna confess if that is the cops for us? And Sergio's like, no, man, we deny everything. And then we walk past the parking lot, and we see the light of the cop. He's searching the rooftop, looking for us. And we're like, oh, that's the cops looking for us? We were parkouring up there, so we started walking. Like, we pretended we didn't see anything.
Enter nonchalant mode.
Yeah, we just kept walking, and then we see the car pull out. I'm like, oh, fudge, he's coming for us. And we're walking. We're like, all right, we're gonna be honest now. And as soon as he pulls up, he pulls up right in front of us, flashes his lights, make this big scene.
It was so terrifying.
Blocks the oncoming traffic. Blocks the oncoming traffic just to pull in front of us. And I was pooping my pants.
It was so scary because he pulls out of the little entrance for the school, and he comes around. You can just hear his tires rolling on the blacktop, all smooth and creepy.
Like,
and you're just like, oh no! And he comes by us, and I'm just thinking to myself, please keep going, just keep going. And all of a sudden, he turns in right in front of us, stops.
No! He rolls down his window, and I was like, oh, maybe he'll ask us about if we know anyone who's parkouring up there.
There was still hope.
Yeah, there was still hope. Oh, I saw those three dudes. They were running the other direction.
I'm sure they're just some friendly guys. But yeah, so anyway, he pulls over, and all of a sudden his lights come on. Those things are, I don't know if any of you have ever been in front of those, but those things are blinding.
In the middle of the night, it's like,
It
oh my
was
god!
It's like seeing the light.
Kind of light out. If you're
Well,
it was
dark.
It was like pretty much.
At this point, it was dark.
It was like close to pitch black at that point.
No,
like,
the sun wasn't out, but it was just.
It was probably like that when it's
black.
like the clouds are like almost a full
Yeah.
gray.
But the point is,
dark.
it was dark, and those lights were bright, and he pulled right into the oncoming intersection or the oncoming lane. So the cars had to go around us, and they went wicked slow.
And they were all just.
And they looked at us, and we're like, "Oh man!"
It was so creepy.
It was so embarrassing.
It's like, oh, I'm one of those people. No.
And the first thing, like he was a state trooper, and as soon as he rolls down the window and gets out, or rolls down the window, opens the door and gets out, and I knew who he was because he was my Boy Scout leader, and I was like, because I used to be in Boy Scouts, not anymore. And
you gotta get that through real quick. I swear I'm not a loser.
And so he gets out, and I'm like, oh man, I know this guy. And he's like, I'm gonna ask you, were you boys? I forget. I'm just pretending.
He was like, he comes out and he just goes like, where you boys coming from?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
like,
the school.
The school. We were being completely honest. We were so scared.
Yeah, it's like we come in like, yeah, we're gonna be so cool. We're
gonna deny everything.
As soon
As
as he
for
goes
our
out,
lawyers,
we're all just like bent down, like grabbing our pants, like, oh my god, yes, it was me on the roof. I swear, oh my god.
So he asked where are we coming from. We said the school, and he said, were you? And then like the next question he asked was, were you guys on the roof?
Yeah, do you guys know
and we're
anything
like,
about the
we're like, yes,
Yes, that was us.
we did. Yeah, that was us climbing on the roof. He's like, why'd you do it? And
Come on, guys.
what do you think,
and he started like lecturing us and saying all the things we did wrong and
then like threatening us with like a felony.
And then he said, where were we headed? And Sergio said his house, because his mom was probably looking for us because his phone was dead. And
oh yeah, that's the real humdinger of the story. At that exact moment where the cop decides to pull us over there, guess who shows up?
Sergio's mom.
She pulls up and like, oh, that van looks familiar.
Sergio,
oh,
what are you
doing?
That was another bad part. Just being ashamed as Sergio's mom walks towards us in front of the police car, and she's like,
"Oh my god, officer!" She's like in a nightgown.
And he's like, "Do you know this woman?"
You just see him like pull on his glasses. Do you know this woman?
we all look over like, no,
he's like,
sir,
he's
we
like,
don't.
Who is that? Save us! Save us! Imposter!
hilarious.
She was the one parkouring.
He just like tackles her, puts her neck.
This is probably like the worst feeling I've ever had in a long time.
I mean, it's not like we robbed the bank or
I
anything.
know, but it felt like it. It
just
felt the way
something.
I just felt like
He's like, you guys do realize that now that you're 16, this could be a felony, you know?
Yeah.
we could go to prison. I'm
You're
like,
responsible for us
And
now.
we're just like, oh god.
He's like, you could be tried as an adult, and I'm like, no.
It was like all my life flashed before my eyes in this very moment.
I was picturing like Prison Break.
No, I was prisoning. I was like, oh god, I can't go to college. I'm a felon now. I can't have a job or a wife.
They won't hire me
All because we climbed on a roof.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, the people are gonna we're gonna be at an interview or something like years from now. The guy's just looking down his our resume or whatever, and he just looks down our transcript, sees was on the roof of a school once many years ago. Oh, I see a blemish on your resume here. Do you care to explain?
I'm a felon, okay?
All right, take me in. I'm sorry.
So, anyways, this police officer explains to Sergio's mom. Didn't they take us back to the school before?
My mom comes up.
She's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, and then the officer's like, he just starts explaining. He asks if it's my mom and all that, and then we get into the van and we pull up towards the school again, and we're just parked there.
Yeah, because there was like janitors and stuff like representing the school that were there because they were concerned that we might have like damaged something.
They look so stupid. They were like crossing their arms like
They're acting
up against the wall, like, oh my god, these kids. They were on our roof. We are authority figures.
Don't touch.
We got out of the car and he was explaining what we did wrong and what they think we might have done
And possible
and
consequences.
we were telling him our exact story.
We're being
And
completely true and good.
and
We may have left out a few details.
actually that night when I got home, I was on the phone with my dad. I told him everything. He told me to type everything out. So I have a size 12 font.
Oh my
Typed
god.
out.
MLA format.
No, but like in case we ever
Times New Roman,
No,
double
that
space.
would have been useful if we had to go to court or something, because then we'd have an exact documentation because it was still fresh in my mind of everything. I even started from when we were at his house and there's broken bikes.
Oh, that's good.
So I forgot to mention that too, but that's not important actually.
Yeah, that's just stupid part of the story.
Anyways,
Who cares about that?
so the guy was explaining what we did wrong and how we could have damaged something, and then he went up to. We were told to get back in the car, and he went to talk to Sergio's mom. Just him and her, and
Who knows what they talked about?
I mean, they could have been flirting for
Yeah.
all I know.
the police officer went to go talk to the janitors, and then he went to go inspect the rooftop, and we had to tell him how we got up there, and
That was like
stuff.
the last
And-
thing. He's
and-
like,
and-
one more question. How did you guys get up there? And that was the one thing I was hoping he would never ask. God dang it.
and then he went up there himself and looked for like damage and stuff.
Did he?
And
I don't think he did that.
I
He
thought
did that.
he said that he was gonna the next day.
he did that he did a quick scan.
Oh.
And then he said that the school was going to do it more thorough the next day. They were going to search for damages, and then they'd notify us.
We just had this biggest fear that they would go up there, find some old thing that was like broken years ago,
Blame
and try and
it
blame
on
it
Or
on
that
us.
graffiti. I was going to
Oh,
be so
the
pissed if they
graffiti,
thought
yeah.
the graffiti was us.
I thought they were gonna see that instantly and be like, the kids did it, and then blame it on us. But that's been there for years.
Or they were going to make false accusations, like for example, the graffiti. They'd be like, "Hey, now you have to pay $1,000 to repaint the roof."
I started looking up like prices for roof shingles and stuff like
There
that.
was-
Like,
there's-
how would this be divided by the three of us?
There was water damage up there. And I thought they were gonna blame us on it, and
But luckily we got out fine.
they inspected it the next couple of days.
Yeah, but when we got in the car and we were pulling away from the thing, I felt like I was gonna die because I thought we were gonna be in serious trouble because
Yeah.
that guy was the police officer was basically he was doing that to scare us
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
show us to try to not get us in trouble again.
Which I guess is a nice thing when you look at it like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it wasn't nice in the
but
moment.
that ride back to Sergio's house
was
and
just hell.
and
Oh, the guy
Sergio's-
asks, he's like, so where are you guys all heading tonight? And then I'm like, oh, that would be my house. And my mom just chimes in like, well, actually, I'm taking them home. And then
Yeah.
the cop's like, oh yeah, that seems like the right
And
course of
then-
action after what happened.
and then I was like then Sergio's mom's like, all right, I'm just gonna take everyone home, and I was like, oh god, I have failed Sergio's mom.
It's
and-
the one chance
And
I
I was
had.
like, I don't want to go home to my mom and tell her why I got home early, and everything just went downhill. But
It was like that time that we broke the windows at your dad's house. But that story's for a later episode.
We
Because
have-
that's it for Croc Talk. Woo!